rebel on the ground. The United States-led UN coalition of ground soldiers will be enough to swiftly restore the country back to its state of normalcy in a matter of weeks. The liberation campaign I'm pleading for is not aimed at maintaining the person of President Laurent Gbagbo to remain in power either. So, contrarily, this campaign is about educating mankind about the importance and respectability of the universal ethical principle of democracy, without which there will be no peace and order in this world. This is about a true and sustainable political education campaign. This campaign is a humanitarian campaign designed to set moral standard and a lasting example of sustainable governance for future generations. This campaign deserves all the attention and support due to its legitimacy and significance. In fact, African countries cannot achieve sustainable development without successful democracy. This country needs peace and tranquility to succeed because the development of the country is a long-term undertaking. Therefore, all democratically elected presidents must be unequivocally respected and protected in order to allow them to accomplish their mission with high mark. Furthermore, it is highly important for all respectable and right-minded people to comply with the rules and principles of democracy, whether or not they ambition to hold a governmental or presidential position in their country. The rules and regulations, the rules and principles of democracy must be respected, must be universalized, and must be respected by all people, citizens, politicians, and everybody. It must be respected also by the leaders of other countries. I intend to make it an international prayer point that the members of the Security Council should have an unshakable faith, audacity, and intellectual endurance to successfully wield the change necessary to achieve true democratic government. May they have enough courage to make the proper humanitarian decision in order to make amends in Côte d'Ivoire. May God help the members of the Security Council to peacefully remove the rebels from Côte d'Ivoire. And I emphasize, peacefully, because they are human beings and they are at fault because of their mental status. May God help the member of the Security Council to restore the authority of a democratically elected president. And may God help them respect the sovereignty of the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire. And I'll make a little digression here. The mandate of the president expired in 2005. There should have been another election. And as I said earlier, we could not go to elections because the circumstances were not conducive to holding democratic elections. This is why I have asked the Parliament of Côte d'Ivoire to combine the position of Prime Minister and the position of President of the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire in order to allow me to bring about peace in Côte d'Ivoire, to organize the elections. I deserve it, I believe, for having worked so hard and because my work was plundered by the government of Sery-Ble. My work has generated hundreds of millions of dollars, and I have not subscribed to their intention to hold elections in this situation, unlike the other candidates. I believe that my expertise and my experience in the United States has pruned me enough to lead the government of my country and to bring about the change necessary to install peace and lasting peace, and to put the trend of sustainable development on the rail for the benefit and well-being of the population of Cote d'Ivoire. Excellency, my advice to you and to the leaders of the world is to put a stop to the preparation of the presidential elections in Cote d'Ivoire, to proceed to the thorough examination and consideration of the above recommendations. Ignoring these recommendations and allowing for the preparation of the presidential elections under present circumstances will only set a very bad precedent for future generations of Ivorian and African. We cannot copy what happens in other countries. The fact that other countries went through the same situation and held elections in a chaotic situation is not an excuse for Cote d'Ivoire. We have to clean up the mess first before we go to elections. And this requires that the recommendation made here be applied first. For Africa and Cote d'Ivoire can no longer take the dangerous and costly road of instability, doubt, and approximation. We cannot take these shortcuts, because taking those shortcuts will be navigating on a huge ship in a deep ocean, navigating on a perforated ship. It will sink, just like Titanic sank. The Bible says that some prophets just prophesy their own mind, visions. God said that He has not talked to them, He has not sent them. But He just lie. They just give false reports, false stats, saying, oh, everything is okay, we'll have elections. God said He has not sent them. Do not listen to them. For they send the entire population astray. God said, if they had sat in my council, they would have told the truth to my people. They would have moved them away from their misdeeds and saved their lives. But so many agreements were made that were not honestly thought through. This is why for the past 8 years we have not moved. And all the candidates just accepted to bring in their representative to sit in the government in an effort to fill up their pockets. This is why I proclaim my candidacy under the reservation that I cannot take part into elections in Cote d'Ivoire as long as the rebels are part of the solution, part of the equation of the resolution of the crisis in Cote d'Ivoire. But I am the candidate. And because I was robbed, and the government knows that, and because I have the solution to sortie de crise that will satisfy both the criminals as well as the youth and the people, I'm willing to make a sacrifice to help bring the country out of this chaotic situation and uncertainty and move on. So I'm urging you, Excellency, not to listen to those who, because of their cupidity and their connections and their stature and corrupted mind, are eager to go ahead with the election despite the situation of uncertainty in Cote d'Ivoire. Because they deceptively promise peace and security, knowing very well that there are rather more disaster ahead for the less fortunate. This type of things is bound to happen. if the groundwork is not done properly. When the foundations are broken, what can a righteous man do? So please do not listen to them. We need another Rwanda in Africa. So please be concerned, Excellency, about the human material destruction such forbearance may cause. Imagine the degree of destabilization and the number of people who are currently in exile. Consider the number of those who will follow after the uncontrolled presidential elections in Cote d'Ivoire. What will become of them? People want to stay in their country. They don't want to be the ward of another country. I'm convinced that the moral action can prevent these disasters, and I believe that the Security Council holds the ability to achieve greater things rather than to encourage the destruction of humanity. Consequently, Excellency, I'm pleading for the introduction of a resolution of the United Nations classifying all coup d'etat as being criminal terrorist act of aggression. Taken from this angle, all future authors of coup d'etat would go directly to prison, and democracy would proceed everywhere in the world for the good of humanity. Thank you for your pleasant attention, and may God bless you. May God bless the Security Council. May God bless the United Nations. May God bless Cote d'Ivoire. And may God have mercy on those who don't know Him. May God bless the world that He has done. For many magicians were around King Nebuchadnezzar. They were all lying to him until someone else came. May God bless us and have mercy on us. For when He told Noah, many people laughed at him until what happened happened. May God bless us and have mercy on us. For when He sent Moses to Pharaoh, Moses was stubborn, but he finally went. But Pharaoh was more stubborn, and his entire army was destroyed. May France and the rest of the world respect Cote d'Ivoire and the African population. May they not be like Pharaoh.